It starts with a comfortable view of a lady lying in bed. She gets an unsettling image that lasts for less than a second. Then a man named Sam calls her, but she declines his call. We soon see him. He is a lecturer in a classroom. When he starts talking, we discover many students are out sick. It is a class about the art of photography. A photo comes up on the projector. That shows us the lady who was lying in bed. After that, we see her again in a different setting. She is Eva Marsh. Two individuals come to her to interview her for a business job. They are surprised she has no job experience. Her reason is that she has been modeling for the last 10 years. As they talk, Eva notices one of them is sick. The next scene has Sam coming home with some Chinese food. Eva comes to join him. She is his wife, appearing disgruntled as they sit. Sam asks her when they're going to talk about it. We don't know what he means yet. It could be the job interview she had. Shortly after, the phone rings, which is for Eva. The lady suddenly comes to life once she engages in her phone conversation. After the call, though, she apathetically tells him she got the job. Sam touches her to connect with his wife, but she would rather he didn't. He says this will be a big change for her, and that he's there to support her. Eva has had enough of listening to him, so she leaves. Later, Sam comes to catch the news on TV, saying that a couple was found lifeless inside their house. They were ill for some time. This seems to foreshadow the situation that will befall our protagonist. On the next day, Sam comes to see a man in a restaurant. As their conversation unfolds, he tells her he should have been there for Eva. It sounds like something more than minor took place, yet we don't know what. Sam also says that had he been there, Eva would not have been depressed. On another day, Sam watches the news in the morning. The newsman says that people are advised to stay at home until the virus has been contained. We learn that hospitals are filled with infected people, and that this is a public health crisis. Eva is there to watch it with him. She receives a phone call. Supposedly, she gets told not to come in for her first day of work. Following that, she gets into an argument with Sam regarding the happening we still don't know about. It causes her to enter the washroom, where she starts crying after taking some pills. Meanwhile, Sam uncovers a box to reveal a teddy bear that he gets sentimental over. Then he looks at a picture of Eva. We get a flashback of a time they were excited with each other, as they engaged in intimacy. Alone in her room, Eva takes her ring off. Sam keeps watching the news about the virus. At that moment, Eva comes to him to say she's scared. She believes the situation might get worse. This is the first time we see her talking normally to her husband. As he tries to calm her, she says she needs him and is sorry for pushing him away. After that, they get a knock on the door from Sam's friend, James. While the three of them eat dinner, James notices that Eva is not wearing her ring. She lies, saying she forgot to put it on after the shower. They have an awkward time at the table. Even in the beginning, we notice Eva does not think highly of James. Soon enough, Sam tries to make it less awkward by turning on the radio to listen to music. We discover James is a writer, because he brings up a novel he's writing that Eva might like. While he talks about it, the radio cuts him off with information about the virus. Blind rage is stated to be a possible symptom. To this, James remarks it's like something out of a zombie movie. He acts goofy, making jokes about it. Eva ridicules him, but not for being goofy. She does it because he's nosy, prying into people's messy lives to make himself feel better. She concentrates her final attack by calling him a loser who no one cares about, along with his work. As the offended man starts with his comeback, he begins coughing. Blood soon comes out of his mouth, some of it landing on Eva. This disaster prompts Sam to take the man out of their flat. In the meantime, Eva washes the blood off frantically. The next scene has her in the bathtub. She notices her hair is falling out. Her nails are also becoming undone. It seems like James has infected her with his blood. Worst of all, blood starts coming out of her mouth. With this happening, it could be the end for the helpless lady. However, she soon discovers she hallucinated. Afterward, Eva goes to throw out the trash. She hears someone make a troubled noise in the garage. Her curiosity leads her to witness a lady sitting tied to a chair. A man is beside her holding a knife. He removes a part of her arm to eat it. Now the crisis is right there with them. It is no longer something they see on television. Eva just witnessed a human eating a part of another one against her will. This makes her start running back to her flat. Once she gets there, she looks through the peephole to see James. Yet when Sam looks, he's not there anymore. Later, Eva takes off her shirt and finds a mark on her shoulder. She hears a faint argument through the wall, which makes her listen to it. After a few seconds, she goes into bed due to it being discomforting. Alone in a room, Sam calls 911 because he thinks Eva might be infected. He mentions the situation of Eva getting coughed up blood on her, but the operator tells him that if she didn't get blood inside her, she should be okay. Sam asks what this virus is. When he's told it can't be discussed, the man doesn't understand why. He even becomes aggressive. After the call, he starts listening to the radio. A man talks about the powers that run the world. Listening to it, Sam writes something down. The next scene has Eva sleeping. An infected James somehow gets in to look at her. He tries to touch her, which is when she awakens from the nightmare. A real nightmare, however, presents itself as Eva hears someone trying to open their front door. So she goes there to see James again. It makes her call Sam to explain to him what's going on. Again, he sees no one there. It sparks an argument between them, with Eva having to tell him she's not crazy. Sam turns the lights off, and James reappears. At another time, Eva talks to him as he listens to the radio. He tells her no one understands what this virus is. There is confusion all around them. We then see the front door is now barricaded. Shortly after, Eva tries to open the window, making Sam come to stop her. He even slaps her because he fears getting infected by the virus through the air. Eva reacts by saying they keep breathing in recycled air, but the man holds her down to make her understand that the reason they're not infected is that they haven't gone outside. Her response to everything is throwing his radio on the floor. Following that, Eva sees her husband covering the windows with tape. At that moment, we get a flashback of her telling Sam she is pregnant. They get excited about it. Soon Eva's mom calls her, who receives the news instantly because Eva can't hold in her excitement. The mother, though, is nowhere near as excited as Eva is. She asks her daughter if this is what she wants. She goes over a few of the obstacles that having a baby will bring before saying she doesn't want Eva to make the same mistake she did. Once that flashback is over, we go back to Sam taping windows. Then another flashback takes place of Sam receiving a very positive call regarding his photography. He tells his wife the good news, that he was given the assignment of making a series of ad shots in New York. He says this while she sits painting. It looks like Eva is more than just a model. She is happy for him, but her happiness is short-lived because he says he wants to go alone due to her pregnancy. Back in the present, Eva opens a box to unravel some exotic clothes. She puts them on and feels good looking at herself in the mirror. Soon, Sam finds her engaged in an intimate moment with herself. It saddens him to a degree, perhaps because he's not involved. At a later time, he puts on a record of a certain song. It wakes Eva up to come to him. He tells her this was their song. As they dance, Sam says that every time he hears it, he thinks of her. At that intimate moment, he asks if she's ever going to tell him what happened, why they are falling apart. Unfortunately for him, this dance isn't real, so he cannot get his desired answer. We see Eva standing at the doorway, watching him dance with nobody. She closes herself in her room to hear the argument beyond the wall again. It makes her cover her ears. Soon enough, she tries calling her mom, yet screams mixed with static are all that come out. Afterward, she goes to a cabinet to collect an X-ray photo of her unborn baby. As she looks at it, we get another flashback of Eva calling her mom. They talk about the baby, and Eva says she does not think she can give birth to it. However, her mother just laughs, saying it's normal to have such doubts. She assures her daughter that she will be a good mom. Eva's concern, though, is Sam. He acts differently now, possibly no longer attracted to her. To those words, the mother responds that Eva should make herself more attractively presentable. It's no wonder Sam would lose attraction when she wears such baggy clothes. After that phone call, Eva calls Sam in New York to leave a message. This is when it gets disturbing. She tells him she lost the baby. It makes her cry. She then lies down to perform an abortion on herself while looking at the X-ray photo. Once she finishes, James appears to call 911 due to seeing her in pain. He was there because Sam gave him the keys to the apartment, but once he sees the utensil she used, he becomes flabbergasted. At that point, he realizes she did not have an accident. This was intentional. The next scene has James telling her he will be there for her whenever she needs him. Yet he's doing this for Sam, not her. Eva says she doesn't want Sam to know about what happened. However, James's mind contrasts with hers because he intends to tell his friend everything. This prompts her to threaten him by saying she will tell Sam he tried to violate her. She will say this if James tells Sam the truth about what he saw. On top of that, James's violation of her is what would have caused the miscarriage in her twisted narrative. From all this, we learn that Eva is a troubled person. We don't know what caused her to abort her baby, but lying about it to her husband was an immoral move. Furthermore, threatening his friend with such an audacious lie shows even more wickedness in her. Later, she holds her lifeless jar with liquid. She shows affection toward it, saying she would protect it in the future. To say she is troubled would now be somewhat tame. Insanity is perhaps the mental state this lady has come to develop. Back in the present, Sam listens to his radio while looking through his small book. The man on the radio goes over various epidemics that struck humans throughout the years. This current epidemic, he says, will bring about their demise. As Sam listens, another voice tries to speak on the radio. Sam takes out a book to decipher a certain message he wrote down. It allows him to write Gen 112. Following that, we observe Eva sleeping with her. She lies next to the infected James from her earlier dream. The man starts suffocating her, causing the lady to wake up. It appears like she has had enough of being trapped in her flat, because she goes to undo the tape on the balcony door. Then she stands outside in relief, looking at all the snow. Yet Sam comes to ruin her joyful moment by closing the door on her. He locks her out there in the cold, bringing her back only once she's fallen asleep. Inside, Sam places her in bed and gets in with her. He touches her with care at first, though it slowly develops into an act of more serious intimacy. Upon waking up, Eva feels uncomfortable with what her husband is doing to her. As they do it, he finds her baby jar. His discovery causes her to run to the front door, where she removes the wooden barricades. Sam yells her name with fury. Eva goes outside to encounter the infected maniac she saw before, so she goes the other way. Going that way, however, does not help her. Sam takes her from behind. In the next scene, she wakes up restrained in a chair, with tape over her mouth. Sam comes to her to say that this plague happened to put them back on track. When he removes the tape, she says she's not sick. He has evidence to the contrary by taking her. She is sick, he says, but her situation does not turn ugly until he finds her abortion tool. Now she is terrified. Why didn't she get rid of it on the day she used it? She insists she can explain herself. Yet the man will have none of it. He puts the tape back over her mouth and says she has darkness in her soul. As he gets on her, a short flashback takes place. We see how Eva met James for the first time. Back in the present, Eva sits with the word liar written on her forehead, while Sam reads a passage from the Bible. He reads about Eve from Genesis, specifically regarding the evil that females hold within them. It is also interesting that the name Eva is just one vowel away from Eve. He then says that the woman will live for her husband. Standing close to her, Sam asks if she still desires him. Her reaction is to turn her head to the side. After Sam reads some more, he says he can't blame her, because she is flawed. He takes out the fetus from the jar and tosses it down. This brings agony to Eva. His reason for doing that is because they have to destroy before they rebuild. He says not to fight him, for he loves her, while holding the intention of healing her. Afterward, Sam tries to make her drink the liquid from the jar. Although she resists, Eva ends up drinking some of it. When Sam comes very close to her, she manages to undo her hand restraints, which leads to her biting him instantly after. She runs to collect one of the wooden planks to slam her husband to the floor. The traumatized Eva doesn't stop until his life has left him. After all that brutality, she hears a baby crying. She picks up the fetus Sam dropped and kisses it. In the washroom, she gets inside the bathtub to remove the infected spots on her body with a knife. She loses consciousness after removing the one from her shoulder. We don't know how long she was out, but shortly after she wakes up, James enters her flat to call out to Sam. Eva comes to meet him instead. She does not hesitate to take her shirt off. The lady's only words to him are that he must make her a baby. Taken by sudden lust, the man does not question her request and starts undressing. Yet the baby she wants, along with them, cannot be expected to last in their infected states.